Okay, today we're going to learn a specific technique to the grab and stab. Also, I've heard it called the sewing machine method. And basically the way this works, if I can borrow you, it's a stealth attack, okay? So this is not West Side Story, where you're just like, come on, and you're knife fighting. This is a stealth attack, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in the future. It could come from a pocket, it could come from pants, or it just could come from a hidden position. And whenever people do this, bad guys out on the street, it's usually a stealthy attack. They usually come up to a person, get in their personal space, might be asking for directions, it might be in a store, it might even be, a countertop between us, and they might be like, hey, can you show me that watch there? Some sort of distraction technique, or hey, can you give me a little bit of change? Or can you give me directions on how to get there? And then the attack comes very suddenly. Okay, this is a brutal attack meant to take this person out, to kill them. And people are learning this technique in prisons and in street gangs, and it's very effective and it's very hard to defend against. A lot of your martial arts moves, I've been exposed to many of them over 30+ years of martial arts, are designed for things like West Side Story type of an attack, or somebody coming at me like this, the old Jim Carrey video if you haven't seen that, or stabs. There's a lot of effective techniques out there, but when you do the research, this grab and stab, the stealth attack, you don't see the knife, you don't know what's coming. It catches people by surprise. It's happening in the prison system, it's happening out on the streets, and even terrorists are using this attack in crowded places, just picking random people and stabbing them, going from person to person. Okay? So here's some of the principles we're going to be working, and one reason why this particular self-defense we're going to learn works so well. First of all, we're going to work off a natural startle response. So whenever a person gets scared or startled, we have a tendency, our hands come up, whoa, okay? So one of the things we're going to do with this attack is work off of our natural startle response. Also notice, as soon as I see that flash of a blade, or it might catch me so off guard, I might get stabbed once. Okay, if that happens, guess what? I'm in immediate need of getting to the hospital. So I can't fool around with this guy. I gotta get out of there as quick as possible and get medical attention. If you're aware of your surroundings, you're aware of people getting in your personal space, that should never happen. But as we've seen on online CCTV videos, many times people are caught off guard because they're in a workplace or that sort of thing. Also, this can happen to law enforcement in an interview situation. Can you tell me what the suspect looked like? And all of a sudden, he's the suspect and the officer doesn't know it, and he does a grab and stab to the officer. Before you can get to your baton or your gun, you're getting stabbed multiple times. So let's turn this way so the video can catch it because you're right-handed. So the first thing we're going to do is work on that startle response. My hips are going back. Anytime I see that flint, that glare of a knife coming at me, I'm going to bring my hands together. I'm going to bring my hands together in this formation here. This is creating a web, and it's remarkably strong. So go ahead and just stab in there, Caleb. And really grab holding, so I can't move, and really stab it in there. I can stop that knife. It's kind of slipping through there. But the other thing we're going to do is a little bit counterintuitive. I want to keep going, repetitive motion. I want to keep that hand from going back and back like that, because he can just change direction, come around my hands, and I don't want that to happen. So at the onset, I'm going to do that block and push into it. You okay?
Yeah, you just popped.
Okay, I heard a pop there. Which is really... Are you seriously okay?
I think so.
Okay.
It scared me a little bit.
Scared me too, I felt it pop in my shoulder. We're not going to edit that out, and here's why. I need to give some safety instructions here. Boom! This particular lock here, you've also seen it done this way. It's actually a hold and a lock that they do in judo. Guess what? It's been outlawed in judo competition, and the reason why is because even in high-level judo competition with expert black belts, this particular lock or this particular break actually is responsible for a lot of accidental arm breaks. That's why they've outlawed a lot of judo. I didn't think I was doing it that hard. I was trying to use control. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I didn't just break his arm because I felt something in there. Okay, so I'm going to use extreme caution the next time I show this. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So he's grabbing. One of the problems with this is they're grabbing in different ways. It could be up here, it could be the arm. It could even be hooking around the head. So I can't pull away from the person. If I do an arm lock, which I've seen a lot of, my hands really aren't doing anything to redirect the weapon very well. I've also learned this one, where you step to the side, you do knuckle knife hands, you can do follow-ups with elbows, arm break here. But again, when this guy's aggressive, grabbing, pulling, stabbing repeatedly, we have to do something different. We got to stop that blade from accessing our body. First of all, push into it, and I'm turning very carefully this time. I don't do any rotation of my hands. My hands are in the same exact position. Boom, and I'm just throwing my shoulder right into the elbow, pulling on that lever. I would imagine if I was holding on to the arm and the arm broke, I'm just going to stab him in the back with his own arm. His arm won't reach that far. But again, when you're practicing this with partners, start off really, really carefully. Don't break your partner's arm. It's amazing how easy it is to break an arm with this much torque and this much tension. Okay, so we're working off of natural startle response. Whoa! Notice again my feet are moving back, which is moving my body back. I'm pushing in. Now, hold on, curl those fingers in there real tight. So even though he's got in there tight, when I start turning this way, I'm actually pulling his grabbing arm across my body, and it still works. Even if he doesn't let go, I can still get this leverage break right here. Wham! Okay? When stuff in here starts tearing and breaking, this hand's probably going to let go. Okay, so hopefully you've practiced this a little bit. So we've worked the grab and stab. Again, this is not designed for a guy brandishes a weapon, and I don't want to try to rush in there or jump in there and do that. Theoretically, you could use it in different situations, but this is really for that, oh my gosh, I'm being attacked, I have to react spontaneously type of attack. You know, I've had situations where people have gotten to my personal space bubble. I'm like, can I help you, sir? So that hands up position, that interview position, that surrender position, showing non-aggression, it's basically putting your hands up ready for whatever he has to throw at you. And then all of a sudden that knife comes, boom, I can jump here if I had to. There's other techniques out there for a person brandishing a weapon. My favorite technique is, whoa! Run away. Somebody brandishes a weapon, I'm going to look for a weapon of opportunity. Or if I'm a law enforcement officer, I'm going to back away, put the knife down! And I'm going to start barking commands at him, and I'm going to shoot him if I have to. But I'm going to get distance between me and him. So this is really for a specific situation where it's a stealth attack. You didn't see it happening until boom, it's right there. You have to defend. You have to do something. Or maybe you've already taken a shot from a blade, which we want to try to avoid at all costs, obviously, but he comes in my personal space and grabs me, boom, I can go here. Experiment with this with your partners, really shove it in there, and you'll be amazed at how strong this is. We practice this a lot in class. Boom, son, stop it, push in, crack. Again, be careful with those elbows. Now, what if he does a stealth attack, and there's some CCTV videos out there where it's like, hey man, what's up? And they go up for the throat shot or a face shot, okay? After you've mastered that first gut shot, grab and stab, he might grab and go for my face, boom. In which case, again, I'm gonna pick up that movement. It's either coming down low, in which I'm gonna go here, or it's like, okay, natural response when something's coming at your face, so you have a tendency to lean away from it, okay? Again, that natural startle response, boom. Strong position here again. The only modification we're going to do this time is we're going to redirect, and we're going to go my armpit on top of his elbow. And I'm going to lay my body weight into it, pulling up here, crack. And you can get a break there as well. Again, so he grabs, He goes, whoa, wham, break, okay? Okay, so refresher, 2 different attacks, stealth attack. I don't see it coming, boom, here, you turn, crack. If it's coming high, whoa, comes here, crack. And we've actually practiced this with gloves. Me and Caleb practice it at home with coats on and that sort of thing. So even with big bulky gear or with winter gloves on, this still works because you're not doing a lot of dexterity. You're doing a wide open gap to break or to grab, redirection, and using that turning motion and leverage as your breaking point. I've taught this particular technique to small children and women who don't feel like they have a lot of physical strength, but we believe through studying the physiology of what it takes to actually break an arm, they have the power and the leverage to actually break an arm. All right, that's it.